one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. What's going on, family? Bless up. Theodore Helverveer, a.k.a. Big Teddy, back with you. So glad to be here with you today. So thankful to be reaching all of you, talking all of you, sharing in this experience with all of you, right? So why did I start out for that? For those of you that don't know, that is from a movie that I highly enjoy and heavily recommend called Creed. But that's so important because what we're talking about today is taking it one day at a time. And even deeper than that, one step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. We're going to remember that. And we're going to keep going over that. And that's the new thing that we're going to lock in. And the reason that we're going to lock in is because this is not just about the people that wake up ready to go and are in the zone. And this is about the people that are trying to get there. Before I wrote the book, before I started the cast, something that was very important to me in my method of attack in terms of changing the world was one person at a time, one conversation at a time, one experience at a time. Because you can never underestimate the impact that you can have on just one life by sharing the right things, by being a good, strong, solid, positive influence, And so for those of us that are working on different things, no matter what it is, and are struggling, something I want you to remember that I really keep in my heart and in my mind is something that I really ride with and run with it, is I'm always on the battlefield, because that's what a lot of these little things are for many of us. And just because they're little to someone else doesn't mean they're not major to us. Your battle can be something as small or as big as making it out of the bed today, or making the phone call to talk to someone you haven't talked to in ages, getting ready to go to that interview. There is merit and value to every step you take towards improvement, self-improvement or other. Okay? No matter how big or small someone else may consider that step, if it's a large step to you, that's all that matters. But the thing that we have to remember is not to get down on ourselves and not to be ashamed and not to feel afraid of the challenges in front of us. Because as Yeezy said, progress is a process. And I repeat that on the regular too. It's very easy to get down on yourself for what you haven't done and you don't do and you can't do and you won't do yet. But that's the most important part of that. We need to remember to always keep a yet on that. Just because you haven't accomplished it, just because you haven't achieved it, doesn't mean that you're not walking towards it. And that's the important part. One day at a time, one step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. Nothing can keep you from where you want to go or who you want to be except you. Nothing can keep you from reaching that point, that place, if you are willing to go there, if you believe that you can do it. And sometimes the most important thing that you can do for yourself, even when we are focused and oriented on our plans, goals, and dreams, is to take it one day at a time. Okay? Something that resonated with me, and I always share the things that resonate with me, something that resonated with me so much that I heard one time is, we hope for the best, we plan for the worst. We've already had this conversation. The effort that we put in to everything and anything is going to directly reflect what we get back. And it can be daunting. It can be scary to think about that 5-year plan, that 10-year plan, that 60-day goal. But that doesn't mean we stop talking or walking towards it. You know how we reach that goal? This is actually one of my favorite sayings and quotes when it comes to problem solving. You know what's the easiest way to handle a problem, no matter how big or small? Start at the edges. Just like a puzzle, you start at the edges. You line it up. You take the time to look at what's the smallest, what's the easiest to affect, what's the easiest to change, what can I do right now? And that's how you turn 20 problems into 15, and 15 problems into 10, and 10 problems into 5. Start at the edges. It's the same concept as one day at a time. It's the same concept as one step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. We're going to keep saying it. We're going to keep saying it until you're saying it. And I hope you're saying it with me every time I'm saying it. Because it's what you need to take away from today. It's what you need to remember. It's what you need to lock in. Okay? I'm being real with you. Every time we talk, every time we sit down together. This is not for me. I've done this. This is for us. This is for you. Because I want for you what you want for you. I want you to reach your goals. I want you to achieve your dreams, no matter how big or small they are. I want you to get better. I want you to heal. I want you to do all the things that no one thought you could do. I want you to do all the things you didn't believe you could do. One day at a time. There is no overnight process that just makes it, This is not about getting rich quick. This is not about magically being better overnight. This is not about waking up and being a new person tomorrow. We are not about short, high-impact changes that don't last and don't mean anything. What's a short, high-impact change? It's making a New Year's resolution to lose weight, going to the gym every day for 6 days straight until you can't move, and then not touching the gym again until your New Year's resolution next year. This is about knowing it's smarter, it's healthier, and will have better lasting effects for you to start out going to the gym 3 days a week, okay? Building momentum, getting used to that, and adding on to that once you learn your limitations, your pace, your speed, and your needs. We're about making long-term, high-quality, high-impact changes that last. One day at a time. You know what's coming, right? One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. Okay? You have to pick your battles. What battle am I going to choose today? I'm going to get out of bed today. What battle am I going to choose today? I'm going to get out of bed today. And then you do it. And then everything after that starts to fall out of place. Well, I got out of bed yesterday, and today is a new day. So I know I can get out of bed. That's nothing. That's dope. I did that. All right, what am I going to do today? I'm going to clean the house today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to clear out my energy and my space. One day at a time. Okay? And like I said, for some of us, it's like, what are you talking about? Yo, for other people, that's a major battle. But it's the start to everything. Okay? Something that you got to understand is no matter what level or where you were at, the most important place and part of that process is the beginning. In the book The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, okay, and this is something I heavily believe, he said, no matter what endeavor we go after or what battlefield it takes place on, anything that starts easy will be hard to maintain. And anything which is difficult to begin will be easy to maintain. And let me explain that concept to you. So, anything that we start or we do without putting a real effort into is going to take so much extra work as we take those continuation steps. So let's give a realistic example of that. If I'm applying for some paperwork for a visa or a new job, and I rush through it, and I misspell everything, or I leave out information, what happens? That was easy. I breezed through that. But now I got to go back, and I got to make corrections. I have to replace forms, okay? I have to deal with people thinking I'm incompetent or I'm lazy because I didn't put the full effort into the endeavor. Same thing. It doesn't matter if I'm building a birdhouse. You know what I mean? If I'm putting together a cabinet, if I'm putting together a table, I put it together super fast, but I miss screws. So what happens? I got a wobbly table. It's falling apart on me real fast. When you take the time and the effort and you dedicate yourself to pouring everything in your beginning, to pouring everything into your start, the maintenance and the maintaining of whatever you have started on is infinitely easier. That is not speculation. That is not a theory. That is a proven fact. If you're building a business, okay, and you take time in the beginning with every customer to get to know them, to let them understand your core ideals, the value that you wish to provide to them and what they mean to you, and build a personal relationship with each customer, then you don't have to worry about people poaching or taking away your customers, or about them leaving you and not believing in your package. Okay? Because you have given them such value, such faith, such belief in who you are and what you do and the service that you will be providing to them, that often in an emergency, all it takes after that is a phone call or an email to destroy that emergency and make it manageable. Hey Charlene, this is Ted. So I know that this hiccup happened last week. I'm really sorry for that. We had a new person starting. I appreciate your patience. I know you have been with us for an extremely long time, and we value every moment of that relationship that we have built together. We'll get this taken care of. No problem. I completely understand. And it can be that simple. It really is that simple a lot of times. Sometimes you don't even have to say that much, because you've built such a personal relationship with these people that it's like, oh, what do you expect? No, I get this. This doesn't happen. We deal better than this. It's fine. You don't even have to explain all of that. Get it sorted. Thank you. I trust you. Real situations, real reactions, the effort that you take, the bond that you build, the time that you extend into each of these situations will directly affect what you take out of all of them in each of them. And no matter how big or large or encompassing it may seem in the beginning, it's all manageable. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One day at a time. That's what we're working on. That's what we're doing. That's how you see the world. That's how you change the world. That's how you affect the world. Making small agreements and minor commitments with yourself that live up to and build into and feed into your larger agreements, your larger goals, your larger plans, your larger dreams. I wanted to change the world. I wanted to affect the world from a very young age. So again, I started doing that one conversation at a time, one interaction at a time, one experience at a time. And it was beautiful because I got to physically see the impact that I had on lives in the world. But then that wasn't enough. And it was for a long time, but then it wasn't enough. So then I wrote a book. Now I'm podcasting. All the time that we spent together, all the things that you've heard from me, do you think for a second it's going to stop there? Because it's not. I will not stop until I have built schools, good, high quality, private funded schools in every black and brown community that I can reach and touch on the planet. I will not stop until I have planted community gardens in every community I can touch, in every community I can reach, in all of these zones that don't have any healthy food and have nothing but fast food. I will not stop until I have built and installed community centers into every community that teaches kids real life skills, how to cook for themselves, how to balance a checkbook, how to have good solid foundation in their homes. I will not stop until we have built universities and colleges, until we have built affordable housing, until we have changed this world and the infrastructure for our community and our people to do for self and have for self and need no one's influence, assistance, or aid behind us to ever reach and affect our goals and dreams. And no matter what anyone thinks about that or how reachable they feel those things are, I'm telling you sincerely, I will hit every single goal just mentioned on that list. And I dare anyone to try and stop me. And you know how I'm going to get there? One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one fight at a time. Okay? I'm too hungry. I want it too much. I need it too much. It's not even about want anymore. It's about need. One day at a time. That's how I'm fighting every battle. No matter what anybody thinks about where I am, no matter what anybody thinks about where I've been, I guarantee you they cannot see, they do not understand where I'm going, what I'm doing, and how far I will go to get there. One day at a time. Can't stop, won't stop. That has been the mantra, okay, for 2017. The mantra that I'm giving you is the mantra that I started with. One day at a time. Progress is a process. And for anybody that's past that, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. For everybody that's not, let's get it and let's get it together. One day at a time, one step at a time, one punch at a time. One day at a time, one step at a time, one punch at a time. Are you tired of hearing it? You better not be. You need to be saying it, okay? I want you to be saying it in your sleep. I want you to be eating it. I want you to be breathing it. This feels too big. One day at a time, one step at a time, one punch at a time. Can't stop, won't stop. That is the 2017 mission. Every year has a goal. Every year has a theme, right? I'm telling you sincerely, this is real talk. We set a theme for every year to make it easier to understand what we're doing, what we're working with. 2014 was know yourself, know your worth. Okay? 2017, we skipped 15 and 16, but 27, no, I have those. Anyway, 2017 is can't stop, won't stop. That's where we're at right now, okay? One step at a time, one punch at a time, one day at a time. So go out there and kick some ass. One day at a time, one experience at a time, one conversation at a time. And don't forget, no matter what, every week we will be here together. Every day if you need me, message me. Email me, no matter what. I'm extremely accessible and I will continue to be so. I'm here with you. We are in this together. We will build, change, grow, accomplish, and achieve together no matter what. Bless up, family.